Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Crystal and I'm with GreenCalgary. Today we are going to do a winter compostable craft. I'm going to show you how to make these really easy winter pots. Everything comes sort of from your dried out or hibernating foliage from your yard, either your yard or a friend's. I've got a lot from a friend's yard and from my own yard. You can decorate them any way you want after they've been made. Decorate them for Christmas, decorate them for another holiday, leave them all year as winter pots, or all winter I guess. They can be made for outdoor or indoor. There are a lot of people who will have large pots outside with these massive, and all they are foliage from around the yard, and they will stay all winter once they're frozen. So I have a few pots here that I have had just laying around the house. This one I've had for years. This one's a little newer, but they've had no purpose for a long time. So I grabbed them. I added the dirt into them. So another thing, you can obviously use new dirt if you want. However, I used the dirt from my summer pots that I pulled inside, and I never empty all the dirt out anyway, so I grabbed some and threw it in. Pack it down really tight because of course it will settle when you water it, and you do want to keep them moist because it's kind of like doing cut flowers. You know, you want to keep them watered. They're dead, but you can keep them kind of going for a little longer as long as you keep them moist. And then I have got my supplies. So I've got my greens, ones with little berries, some without, just various types of greens. And I've got just some sticks, and I've got some rose hips, grabbed some acorns from outside, some grasses, and some other seeded, dried up seeded, just random plants. Really, anything will work. There is no limit to what you can do once you just start searching outside and grab what you want, what you think looks interesting to you. I am missing two things, so I'm going to get my assistant who's helping me to run and grab them out of the basket in the other room, please. Alright, so to begin, I will do both pots. Oh, I did want to mention, so in the notes, if you're on the Facebook page, you probably saw already that I mentioned adding the dirt ahead. I also mentioned creating these dried oranges ahead of time. If you're not on the Facebook, I will add this information to the YouTube so you don't have to reopen your old Facebook account that you deleted 5 years ago just to see it. One of the things that I had mentioned is sugar to replace glitter. Now typically with these pots, well, I guess no typical of anything, you can do what you want, but some of the examples I'll post up later of how people have actually used sugar to make sort of little Christmas domes will be a better example probably of how it's better utilized, but I just wanted to give an example of how you throw some glue and some sugar and you kind of get a little bit of a wintry, frosty scene. So it's a bit of an experiment. I actually hadn't done that one before. All right, so have your pots. Like I said, I'm going to do very simple, very basic. You can go as big or as bold as you want, or keep it simple, whatever works for you. So the best thing I always think about is, where do I think it was going to be placed? Because you're looking at sort of height. You want tall, medium, and small to have some layers, kind of like we've got here in these guys. If something is going to be up against a wall, I tend to start with the height at the back and work down. If the height is going to be like a middle centerpiece, then I think height in the middle and out. So let's begin. I like to start with my tall ones. That's just how I like to start. So pick off some of the ones at the bottom. Now don't throw these away because you're going to need them for filler later. And just begin. I'm going to take these ones as centerpieces, so I'm going to start my height in the middle. So now you got a little bit of height, a little bit of bold, a little bit of fun. And just keep peeling off what you want and adding in. I had found Sometimes you gotta poke a little hole in to get it to stick all the way down. You want to get them in as far as you can because it's going to give it the most support, obviously, as you have it sitting on your center in your kitchen, living room, wherever it's going to be. Now I love these ones. These ones are fun because they've got these berries. All right, this one is really gnarly. Got this guy. I saved him just for you guys to show you. So again, I'm peeling off. Oh, you know what? I pre-cut some of these and forgot to tell you something very important. You want to cut an angle, just like cut flowers, like that. So I better redo these ones. So like I said, you think cut flowers. Just get them stuffed in there. Where'd my gnarly guy go? So yeah, really like this gnarly guy. I love the berries. Now one of the things too, when you have these outside, if you have them outside, if you have the, be maybe cautious of what you put on them if you are going to have them outside, because critters might decide to get in there and take a nibble. But things like berries and all that are from your yard is already in their natural element. Now the whole purpose, of course, why I use dirt and why I've used stuff that I can find in my yard is that in the end, the craft can be composted. A lot of the stuff could actually just end up in your home composter that you throw outside into your garden. Or, of course, even easier, if you don't have a home garden, you can throw it into your green bin. And that is kind of the intended purpose in the end, is that at the end you just tip it upside down, obviously keep the pots and stuff. Another thing that we encourage is looking for your materials at the thrift store. So if you don't have any extra pots laying around or nothing that you want to maybe throw glue on or glitter, or not glitter, but sugar, or just have something, you have them saved for something special. Maybe you already use them for a different winter idea. Head to the thrift store. You can get a lot of really great ones. So these grasses I always find are fun. I don't know why, I'm just really into the grasses all the time. Just my thing. Like I said, you can do whatever you like, whatever makes you happy, whatever you find interesting in your yard. All right, so you can see already it's starting to fill up. One of the things you'll often want to do is, fill some spaces and then walk away, take a look around, see I like the way these two things come together. Maybe I want a little more space here. Maybe I want some berry. So you're always got to be kind of taking a look at what's happening in your craft and making decisions on the fly. Pretty well always just making decisions on the fly. Doesn't have to be perfectly put together. Because part of the beauty of it is it mimics nature. It mimics that world outside that is just beautiful on its own. All right, I'm gonna go back and get some more of these berries in here because, like I said, they are one of my favorite things to have. So she's already looking pretty full. I think I want a little more height back here. So I'm gonna find one of my longer guys. Give him a snip. And I guess I should probably throw something in my other one. Again, take all these off, don't throw them away. And there we are. Just pretty simple, hey? I'm gonna start filling in some spaces here, around here. Get my finger in there, get a little bit, there we go. Pack it in, and you want to pack things in because of course you want them to stick. You don't want them falling all over the place on you. And again, talking about height, get some small, get some large, get some medium in there. Now I have some of these guys that I got out of my yard. They're really nice for lower height. Some of them even already curve a little bit. course, these ones are going to make a liar out of me. I didn't grab any real curvy ones this time, but sometimes you can get this stuff that's already curved, so it kind of curls down, and that gives a nice little like falling around the front of your pot. And they also, you know, the nice thing about the dried seeds is they often will come in different colors, just depending how they dried or what stage they dried in. So some of these look very, very gray, and some of them still have a little bit of the red from when they were in their glory in the summer. And this is just a winter stone crop, or a summer stone crop that I have that dries. And I never cut any of my stuff. I don't know, I just never do. Leave it for the birds, and I leave it for stuff like this. So obviously if you have maybe done a little more winter or fall pruning, you may have to go see if a neighbor will let you cut up their yard. And you don't need a lot. I mean, that's a big thing too. You really don't need a lot. So maybe you have a small yard that you think, oh, I don't have enough in my yard. I don't have a big enough garden. I don't have enough seeds. Go out and just start scavenging around. You never know what you might find. Tucked away under the snow, kind of peeking up a little. Something you forgot about, or something you just hadn't looked at. You hadn't really looked at it in the light of a craft, or as something that you could bring inside as a decoration. And going back out there with a different set of eyes might allow you to see it as something that would be perfect. All right, so this could definitely be filled up more, and I will continue to fill it up more. But as you can see, very simple, very elegant. I'm gonna do this one a little more berries and stuff. Then you've got the oranges, and like I said again, I will put these in the notes after of how you make these oranges. They're very simple. I just used old oranges I already had that were kind of already starting to dry out. When you're done, you can just place them in. You can use them for other decorations, which I can also show some examples of that later as well. Yeah, any dried citrus, it doesn't have to be oranges, any dried citrus will do. There's different sort of drying times for different types, so I'll put up some base explanation, base instructions, but you may need to adjust just depending on what citrus you use, your oven, all those other things that come with any kind of baking, of course. And yes, you can make this beautiful winter craft at home in a very short amount of time with very little supplies, for a friend, for yourself, whatever you like. Bring it over to a friend's house. They'll be so impressed that you made this all by yourself. I know all my friends were last year. Felt like I had done something really big, and it was actually quite simple, small, and pretty fun. It gets kind of, you know, you get in a groove, it gets a little meditative, you just start placing things in. Like I said, just take time, spin it around, take a look, and you will be very happy with your results, I am sure. One more. So these are kind of cool, some willow. Nice thing about these, and depending on the size of your pot, depends how they're going to fall. But they kind of, you know, they're a little wispy. If you get the right kind of pot, the right kind of, they can actually sort of hang over a little. My pots are a little small, so they're going to go straight up. Cut them smaller, you can have them hang over a little. And again, I'll fill that up more after, and I will take pictures and I will put them in the notes. Sorry, my assistant was reminding me, acorns. Another thing I had grabbed from the neighbor's house with permission. These are easy, you can place them in anywhere, kind of like the orange. The other thing you can do with these, and I will show some better examples of them in the notes after, some people will take these and glue, again using a white washable glue, and it's compostable in the end, so you can pull them off after and throw them in the bin, and take their pot and use acorns as a covering. So I will show you an example of that too when I post some more photos. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a chance to do this, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I do want to do a quick thank you to Vern Williams. She taught me how to make these. She lets me, well, she encourages me to come chop things in her yard because she needs a winter prune. It's something she's very passionate about herself, and so I really appreciate and wanted to say thank you to her for allowing me to use her photos and for introducing me to this really fun winter idea. Thank you.